Everybody knows of Home Depot and Lowe's. Sure, they become synonymous with home improvement, the big box stores that seem to be in everyone's hometown across the country. There's still smaller chains around, like Ace Hardware. But before the rise of these two chains, there were others who had laid the groundwork for their eventual domination in the home improvement market. Here's a look at a few store chains you might remember.
Check the selection, see how little you've paid. With Handy Andy, you've got it made.
This solid brass peerless kitchen faucet with spray features washerless design. Handy Andy sale priced this week only $34.99. Or get this powerful Black & Decker 7 1/4-inch circular saw for only $34.99. Plus a chance to win a $440 workshop.
With Handy Andy, you got it made.
Handy Andy Home Improvement Centers was founded as Arrow Lumber Company by Joseph Rashkow in 1947 on the south side of Chicago. His son, Ronald Rashkow, converted the company to Handy Andy in 1971 with its first expansion unit. The company would eventually grow to 72 stores in 7 states: Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Ohio, Missouri, Mississippi, Michigan, Tennessee, and Kentucky. At its peak, the company had over 11,000 employees with annual revenues of over $750 million. Handy Andy declared bankruptcy on October 17, 1995 due to creditor pressures, which led to the closure of about 20 of its stores. At the time, Handy Andy had over $120 million in debt and was planning to reorganize into hardware supermarkets. They would eventually close all of their stores by 1996.
Here's another do-it-yourself message from Noah and his friends at Ollie's Home Centers. This week at Ollie's, you can save on over 1,000 items throughout the store, including the entire line of Ollie's Grand Prix rotary mowers. This 21-inch, 3.5 horsepower model features an easy-on, easy-off rear grass bag, sale priced $169.97. Save this week on all Wheeler mowers. Ollie's prices start at $99.97.
With Ollie's help, you can do anything.
Ollie's Home Centers was founded in Rosemead, California in 1946. Ollie's Home Centers rapidly converted all of its stores toward a modified warehouse format. In 1984, they operated 32 stores in California and 3 in Nevada. That same year, they were acquired by W.R. Grace in July of 1984. You may also remember their jingle, "With Ollie's help, you can do anything." The company's multimedia campaign featured Ollie's television spokeswoman, comedian Phyllis Diller. Home Center chain would eventually go bankrupt in the late 1980s, early 1990s. They had around 137 stores in 7 states. Handyman Home Improvement Stores was a wholly owned subsidiary of Edison Brothers, a St. Louis-based retail company. Its first store opened in 1962. Handyman, which operated 53 retail stores, 4 distribution centers, and a San Diego executive office, became a public company in June of 1985. Shortly after taking the company public, the company determined that they could not keep pace with the significant changes in the fiercely competitive home improvement store industry. In December of 1986, though the chain was actually profitable, shareholders felt that it was better to liquidate rather than to continue. By 1987, the chain was closed and its assets were sold off.
Glidden Paint Price Solo. Chase Pitkin is practically giving it away. You could win a getaway to Disney World in Florida. The excitement goes on and on.
Chase Pitkin was a local chain of hardware stores. It maintained a neighborhood feel despite being associated with a large chain like Wegmans. The Chase Pitkin story begins in 1868 when Louis and Ethan Chase moved to Rochester from Maine and established the Chase Brothers Nursery Company. A decade later, William Pitkin married into the family and joined the business. He would later serve as company president. Chase Pitkin grew to a mostly regional chain of 14 stores and withstood competitors like Hechinger's, Grossman's, and Builder Square, but finally succumbed to the overwhelming challenge from industry giants like Home Depot and Lowe's. By 2016, Chase Pitkin's would close its stores. Wegmans, its parent company, decided to refocus its efforts on its grocery business and offered severance pay or jobs in the grocery stores to the nearly 400 full-time and 1,200 plus part-time Chase Pitkin employees.
If you saw Glidden spread satin paint somewhere else for less than the $10.77 a gallon you'd pay at Hechinger, how would you feel?
We would not be amused.
And say you found Armstrong Citation Solarian 12-inch vinyl floor tiles for less than Hechinger's price of $128. What would you say to Hechinger?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Not necessary. We'll match anybody's price on any identical in-stock item. At Hechinger, nobody beats our prices, ever. Guaranteed.
Hechinger!
The Hechinger Company was an American chain of home improvement centers that started in 1911. Sidney Hechinger had initially established himself in the wrecking and salvage business in 1911, and in 1919 opened his first hardware store in southwest Washington, D.C. Hechinger would grow to about 131 stores by the 1990s. The company would be in financial trouble by then. By the late 1990s, the store was in trouble. After several rounds of store closing, the Hechinger Company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on June 11, 1999, but the reorganization failed. Later that year, in September of 1999, Hechinger's assets were liquidated, including its remaining 117 stores.
Like dummies. What kind of nails do I need for paneling? Straight ones. At National Lumber, we know that everyone's not an expert. That's why we're here to help.
I've got a question. Where's the special?
Keller aluminum bronze finish single glaze sliding glass windows, 25% off our low retail price. So don't be afraid to ask us anything.
Okay. What's the capital of South Dakota?
Saul Jaffe opened his used lumber store in Bellflower, California in 1942. World War II unleashed a powerful economic expansion that changed the Southern California region's complexion forever, and National Lumber and Supply was in a position to prosper. As an unprecedented post-war building boom turned orange groves into housing tracts, National Lumber thrived and gradually evolved into a chain of 21 do-it-yourself hardware stores found throughout Southern California. National Lumber was once a pioneer in the industry, being among the first retailers to develop into a full-service home improvement center and to expand beyond a single store. You may remember National Lumber's longtime advertising campaign. Cartoon mascots Cheap Chicken and Shorty were created by Jaffe in the 1960s. The screechy-voiced characters who use wit to pitch the store's products have given the company name identity with consumers. By 1990, National Lumber had been struggling with losses for several years as it faced greater competition from home building superstore chains like Home Club and Home Depot. They would eventually file for bankruptcy and close its remaining 21 stores. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks.